In this video, we're going to learn how to set up a deployment step by step. Before we can create pipelines, the platform needs to be configured with the execution engines that will allow us to author and run our pipelines. The configuration process is very easy, and we'll be on our way to creating and running pipelines in no time. Let's get started. First, let's navigate to the setup and create an environment. An environment defines where StreamSets deployment will reside and can be tagged to represent the purpose of the deployment. For example, dev, staging, or prod. Give it a name. Select the type, and in our case, we'll leave the default as self-managed. We can provide tags, and we'll tag it as a dev environment. Click Save and Next. Environments can be shared with other users and groups in your organization. This allows us to isolate environments, for example, dev versus prod, or different teams and projects. We'll leave the defaults here, and let's hit Save and Next. And we'll activate and add the deployment next. Let's give our deployment a name. Let's keep the deployment type as self-managed. The environment should be the one we just created. We will select Data Collector as the execution engine type for this deployment. Let's select the engine version and let's give some useful tags. Let's click Save and Next to configure the deployment. Here we can add additional stage libraries. Stage libraries are the necessary dependencies for particular origins, processors, and destinations in pipelines. As we can see, there are some core stage libraries pre-selected. We're going to add the Apache Kafka latest version and JDBC stage library, then click Save and Next. Let's next configure the install type and select Docker image. Click Save and Next. Just like environments, deployments can also be shared. We'll leave the default for now. Click Save and Next. Now we can enable this deployment by clicking the Start and Generate install script. Let's copy this script and run it in the provided Academy lab environment. In the lab environment, the command should be run as sudo. Note that we ran it twice here to run two data collector engines. Once you have installed two data collector engines, run the critical command /update-nodes.sh. This will update your nodes to the latest version. Failure to run this command will result in lack of access to the necessary data for later labs in this course. Let's go to our engines and view our newly created and registered data collectors. They may take a few seconds to show up. Now let's build a simple pipeline to test our new deployment. First, we'll need to create a pipeline and provide a name, description, and leave the defaults. Then click Next. Now we can configure a pipeline, and let's leave the default authoring engine. One of the two engines from our deployment will be pre-selected. Let's save and next, and leave the default share setting. And now, let's open in the pipeline design canvas. We'll add two basic stages, one that generates dummy data as the origin or data source, and the other stage as the destination, which will be the trash. This will send the dummy data to a destination that simply discards the data. We can validate the pipeline, and we can preview it to see some sample data that is generated by the origin. Let's close the preview and run the pipeline. Now let's test the pipeline. We can see the pipeline running. We successfully created an environment and a deployment, and tested the deployment with a simple pipeline. Now it's your turn to set up a deployment in your Academy lab environment. Thanks for watching.